Welcome to our Working Together. Welcome to our presentation. We will be talking about working together at the Down Syndrome Association, England, Wales and Northern Ireland. We are your hosts, Lindsay, Joe and Sam. The DSA does what they are told is needed by people who have Down syndrome, families and people who support them. They will try and find answers for any questions or issues that people who have Down syndrome or their families have. Our voice is part of the DSA team. We work together for change. We are included in DSA's work. We tell the DSA when we think. We speak up for our rights. We work together to help other people who have Down syndrome. This is our video what we made.
Our voice is a team of people who have Down syndrome.
We tell the Down Syndrome Association what we think, and we have over 100 members, and our team is growing.
We are part of the team. We get together every week and we discuss different things.
Like keeping active.
We talk about our rights and have our own say.
We share our life experience with each other.
We talk about our feelings.
We interview musicians and make recordings.
We help campaigns and we make resources.
Tell our stories and encourage people to remain positive.
We make videos.
We learn from each other and do presentation.
We put on events, talk at webinars and put on to training.
We help the other people with Down syndrome and support each another.
We make sure everyone is included.
Doing it is great. I make lots of friends.
It helps me to challenge myself, like learning new things and giving advice to other people.
The main reason that I love our voice is that we all are individual from each other and have different personalities.
It has helped me to stay connected with other people who have got Down syndrome around the UK, and it helped me to talk to other people.
If you would like us to open your work, just ask us. This is our voice.
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 This is our voice. Hi, I'm Theo, and I will be talking about inclusive participation and co-production. What is inclusive participation? Inclusive participation is about everyone being and taking part in the work and activities of organisations. It means everyone's voice is listened to and that decisions are made with people rather than for them. The DSA include people who have Down syndrome in all aspects of their work. The Down Syndrome Association is here to amplify the voices of people who have Down syndrome by working together. This quote from Dave Hinsberger explains how people with Down syndrome should be supported to speak for themselves. Be my microphone, not my voice. At Our Voice, we take part in the DSA through co-production. What is co-production? Well, it's about working together to make something, but it starts from making ideas, which are put forward into meetings and discussions, onto then debates. And the DSA is more about not doing things for people, but about doing things with people. So the principles of co-production are equality, diversity, accessibility, and reciprocity. Equality, everyone has assets. For co-production starts from the idea that no one group or person is more important than anyone else. For everyone has skills, abilities, and time to contribute and express their voice, our voice, to be heard. And, and with diversity, with co-production, should be as inclusive and diverse as possible. For extra time may be needed to ensure for our rights equals our voice. Accessibility means making everything accessible so that everyone can take part in an activity in the way that best suits them, such as sport, drama, school clubs, and social groups. And reciprocity means people get something back for putting something in. So with you as a member within the Down Syndrome Association means that the TSA can work and help you. Thank you.
hearing from Lindsay why I like Our Voice. I look forward to Our Voice weekly check-in because I'm meeting other people with Down syndrome. I like hearing all the things that the others have been doing and their ideas of what else we might do. I don't belong to any other groups, and because I went through mainstream education, I don't regularly meet with other people with Down syndrome. When Our Voice first started, I was a little bit nervous and wasn't ready to speak up. And so just listened, but now I have found my voice and enjoy taking part and contributing my ideas and making new friends. I would suggest to other people that they join Our Voice, and if they don't want to speak, like me, they can just listen until they are ready to talk. Thanks to Our Voice, I am so much more confident and now enjoy working with the DSA team on all kinds of projects. Why do people who have Down syndrome take part in Our Voice? Jack says, I like the communication and that we all respect everyone's choices. I quite like all of it. Good to meet other people. Brogan says, Our Voice is incredible and actually inclusive. Samuel says, Our Voice means when people want to speak out, taking part and make part of a team, small groups, going into different rooms and talking about stuff like school. It makes me feel really good. Bethan says, I like being together, staying connected with each other, being part of the group. I like doing different topics. I enjoyed taking part in the focus groups. And Catherine says, I like doing Our Voice. It's life-changing, boosting my confidence in everything I do.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Lindsay and Joe and Sam so far. My name is Robin Gibson. I'm the Inclusive Participation Officer at Down Syndrome Association. I'm going to be talking a bit about working with partners. We believe that inclusive participation is one of the big keys to having an inclusive society. So Our Voice have been working with other partners so that their impact goes outside of just the DSA and starts to move into other areas of our society. So I've got some quotes that I'm going to read through from our partners. So the first one is from Kelly North, who's the Senior External Affairs Manager for the UK Department of Health and Social Care. She said, working with the Down Syndrome Association and adults with Down syndrome to create easy read materials has been invaluable to the department. Collaborating in this way has enabled us to improve our communications to people with Down syndrome during the pandemic, with the ultimate aim of delivering clear messages that help people keep safe. Next up, we're going to look at some of our university partners. And before that, we're going to hear from Sarah Geiger, who has done some research on inclusion in schools. And I'm just going to play a short clip of Sarah talking about including people with Down syndrome in her research.
The thousands of research. Hello, my name is Sarah Geiger. As an educational psychologist and researcher, I investigate and support the focus on what works to achieve successful placements for our children and young people with Down syndrome in schools. My recent research with 200 families looked at where our children are, their educational histories, and factors associated with placement success and breakdown. As part of this research, I interviewed some young people about their views of school and used approaches where the young people with Down syndrome could identify their own priorities rather than comment on mine, and where they could communicate verbally and non-verbally using tasks and approaches that didn't intimidate them. It's really important that we accurately and carefully gain the views and experience of people with Down syndrome by hearing their voice. Out of the thousands of research papers I looked at about people with Down syndrome, it was rare to hear their own viewpoints. The young people interviewed for my research provided unique and original views, offering helpful insights.
So yeah, it's very interesting to hear how little that people with Down syndrome have been included in research about them historically, and we're working together to try and change that. So first of all, here is some screenshots from the Our Voice team working with the University of Cambridge. This was a presentation for World Down Syndrome Day, talking about research that's being done with people who have Down syndrome. And I'm happy to say that some of the members of Our Voice who attended the presentation are now taking part in that research, which is fantastic. Here's a quote from Manchester, the University of Manchester. It's from Marianne Day, who's a researcher on the ALDAP project. So she said, "I'm working on a study at the University of Manchester for Health Education England. We are looking at how to improve hearing services for people with learning disabilities. We recently held a focus group with members of the Our Voice group who have access to hearing services. It was fantastic to hear the group's perspectives on care they have received and their ideas for how services can be improved. It is vital to hear the voices of people with learning disabilities in research, especially around the services they receive. Thanks to Our Voice team for enabling us to do this." So there's just a few of the partners that Our Voice have worked with, and we look forward to building more relationships in the future. I'm now going to pass over to my colleague, Stuart.
Hello, I'm Stuart and I'm part of the information and training team. So I'm going to talk first all about resource development and then talk a little bit about DSA's helpline. So really, Our Voice has helped DSA so much over the last few years with the development of new resources. And these include easy read information about COVID and keeping safe, for example. And I personally found Our Voice's input incredibly valuable when I worked on the DSA's accessible emotional wellbeing resources. And you can see some pictures there, some screenshots of those resources. And at a certain point in the process, I was really stuck about one of the particular resources that I was developing called Changes That Can Happen in Families. And I took the first draft of this resource along to an Our Voice meeting, and the feedback that members gave me really helped me to understand what content would be most useful and what should be included in this particular resource. And the group also advised me about the words and pictures in the resources. So now I'll talk a little bit about the helpline. So, I mean, from my perspective, simply put, working with Our Voice informs my practice on DSA's helpline. And although, of course, every person is an individual, when I'm speaking to callers on our helpline, I will often think about what members of Our Voice have told us. And for example, this might be about their life experiences. It might also be about what has helped them as individuals in certain situations that they've experienced. So I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that I really don't think it would be possible for me to do my job well without regularly meeting with the Our Voice group. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. So my name is Chris and I'm part of the information and training team. And I'm just going to briefly talk about the valuable contributions that our Voice members have made to our training delivery and our webinars. So the Down Syndrome Association has really benefited from the participation of our Voice members in training sessions and webinars. During the pandemic, we've really had to change the way we interact with people with a focus on video conferencing. And this has actually indirectly benefited our Voice members too. Our Voice members have been participating in the delivery of our training and training sessions and webinars, as well as providing a really unique and insightful aspect to attendees. The input of our members, of our Voice members, has influenced the training and planning methods. So during the development stages of new training, we're actively looking at creating opportunities for our Voice members to contribute and take part. When planning training, we're now able to connect online and work with our Voice members without any geographical limitations stopping members working with us. So it's really great to be able to work with members right across the country. Our Voice members have spoken at live training sessions, as well as creating pre-recorded videos. And this has really been invaluable because that means we can be flexible with how we use content and share that across other sessions and other networks. Feedback has been universally positive, with many attendees praising the ability to listen to people who have Down syndrome directly about topics that are being covered in that training session or webinar. So just to say, just to conclude, our Voice has influenced our training for the better, and thank you to our Voice members for this great work. And I look forward to working with you for future training sessions and webinars and working collaboratively in the future.
Thank you for coming to our presentation. You can find out more by visiting our website, www.downsyndrome.org.uk.